Say something, please. Oh, I'm glad you're all right. They carried you in this morning. I didn't even realize you'd been gone all night. I've heard about apprentices who never come back from harrowings. Is it really that dangerous? What was it like? So much for friendship. I'll leave you alone. And now you get to move to the nice mage's quarters upstairs. I'm stuck here and I don't know when they'll call me for my harrowing. Easy for you to say. I've been here longer than you have. Sometimes I think they just don't want to test me. The Tranquil never go through a harrowing. You do the harrowing, the Rite of Tranquility, or you die. That's what happens. They might not, but the Rite of Tranquility is just as bad, maybe worse. You've seen the Tranquil around the tower, like Owain who runs the stockroom. He's so cold. No, not even cold. There's just nothing in him. It's like he's dead but still walking. His voice, his eyes are lifeless. He's been made tranquil. I don't know how they do it exactly, but you're cut off from the Fade. It takes away your magic abilities, along with your dreams and emotions. The Fade is the dream realm. Maybe it's a side effect of being cut off from the Fade. No dreams, no emotions? Apprentices can ask to be made tranquil if they fear the harrowing, but the Circle also forces tranquility on those they feel are weak. And sometimes they force it upon apprentices they think might be too dangerous as mages. I shouldn't waste your time with this. I was supposed to tell you to see Irving as soon as you woke up. He didn't tell me. About the harrowing, I'd guess, but you never know with Irving. You'd better not keep him waiting. We can speak later.
Did you hear anything? Is she all right? Is she awake?
Why do you care? Are you best friends now?
I'm just curious. That Templar, Cullen, said it was the quickest, cleanest harrowing he'd ever seen. He says she's very talented and very brave.
Well, he would, wouldn't he?
I just know I'll be terrified when my time comes. Like Wendell was. He'd throw up every day for the next week just...
Did you hear?
Hear what?
I heard they suspect someone of dabbling in blood magic.
Why would anyone do something so stupid? That's a death sentence.
And force demons into your service. That's what I hear anyway.
Control the fire with your will.
We're all... Was the harrowing
Stay
scary?
steady.
It must
You
have
don't want
been.
it
Why
stuffing
else
and
would they
leaking
call it
about.
that?
That's what causes most of the injuries. Injuries? But... Ah, congratulations on your harrowing.
Can you tell where I burned off my hair? Is it very obvious?
Don't you ever get homesick?
Serve man and not rule over him.
I hear Irvin's
Very
waiting to
good.
give you your
And
mage
what do you
robes.
think that means?
I like
Can anyone...
ponies.
Does your mentor give you lots of homework too?
Aren't the children just precious?
Concentrate! Hold the shield! If I had put all my power behind that spell, you would have been obliterated. I am not your enemy. Fear is your enemy. It is a weakness that can be exploited. I heard Irving wants to see you.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? The stockroom is not a shop. Your mentor should have clarified this. The stockroom stores components used in magical and alchemical experiments. Do you require something? I voluntarily submitted to the Rite of Tranquility. I was unwilling to undergo the harrowing. I find this state agreeable. I see the world with clarity. I remember the days when my mind was filled with inconvenient and seething emotions. Now things are simple. I was ordered to never speak of it. I cannot go against the Circle's wishes. It is difficult to describe. I would perhaps compare it to being plunged into a pool of ice-cold water. Very well. Goodbye.
Your mentors must be happy for you. You passed the harrowing.
Oh, hello. I don't believe we've met. Are you new to the Circle? I'm sorry. There are so many of you, and I get confused. Not to mention, these old eyes are starting to go. You're too kind. I'm old and about to fall apart. Nothing in the world can fix that. Not any magic I'd be caught doing. Anyway, did you need something? I'm not good at talking. Too much chatter makes my head throb. Don't you have lessons to get to? Shoo!
They say you passed your harrowing. You must be happy.
That's not. The Chantry would do something before...
Will they? They haven't done anything, and I've heard that the Equitarians are starting to soften a little on the Libertarian position.
Sympathy for the position isn't the same as support. Yet.
I think someone's here to speak to you, Senior Torren.
On it.
Hello. Congratulations on your harrowing last night. Good work. Ah, the Fraternities of the Enchanters. You probably haven't heard of them. It's best not to get tangled up in circle politics. More trouble than it's worth, really. They're found in all circles throughout Thedas. Groups of enchanters who hold similar viewpoints, who band together to make their voices heard. The most influential fraternity are the Equitarians. They are moderates and believe in a code of conduct that all mages should adhere to. Then there are the Chantry apologists, the Loyalists. The Chantry says something and they follow it to the letter. The Lucrosians just want to make money, and the Isolationists would like us all to be hermits and live on an island. Then of course there are the Libertarians. They want more power for the Circle, more autonomy. If I had to, I'd say I was an Equitarian, but I ducked out of the fray a long time ago. Most of the senior enchanters are Equitarians. Irving, Wynne, Sweeney. Ulrid's a Libertarian, and a loud one at that. Mages have enough opposition from the outside without tearing our circles apart with infighting. But what can you do? An idealist, I see. Well, if you're going to change the world, you should get started immediately. Lots of world to cover.
Right.
Hello, were you looking for something? I'm Njal, a mage just like you. I've seen you around, haven't I? I must have. Oh, the fraternities. Groups of mages with a common agenda. I think we should all be isolationists. Stay in some remote mountain town far away from the mundanes who hate us. They'll never learn that. They don't want to. I'd go hide alone in the wilds if I could. But you know they just brand me an apostate and hunt me down. There is no leaving the Circle. It's till death do us part. Romantic, isn't it? If you leave the Circle, you become an apostate. And the punishment for leaving is death. Pretty grim, huh? I've heard of hedge witches who've managed to survive on their own, eluding the Circle for a lifetime. But if the Templars discover them, well, you know what happens. Then there are stories about the Dalish elf clans having great magic. But who knows what's truth and what's fiction when it comes to the Dalish? All right, have a good day.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't hear you come in. I'm sorry. I'm terribly busy right now. I have to prepare the room before the Grey Warden is done at his meeting with Irving. Yes, Duncan his name is. He must be here to talk to Irving about something important. You know, I almost became a Grey Warden once. There were several of us chosen, though the Grey Wardens only wanted one recruit. They only ever have one mage, you see. I think they thought I was the best candidate, but I was young and foolish, and I said I wasn't interested. They picked someone else instead, and that was that. I've regretted it ever since. Oh well, I should get back to my work.
There you are. You are to be moved out of the apprentices' dormitory, and these are to be your new quarters. The Tranquil will move your belongings this afternoon. Go on, make yourself comfortable.
I heard that you completed the harrowing in record time.
I should have been sent to help the King's army. I dislike being stuck here while something big is happening.
Oh, hello. I'm glad to see your harrowing went smoothly. They picked me as the Templar to strike the killing blow if you became an abomination. It's nothing personal, I swear. I'm just glad you're all right, you know? I would have felt terrible about it, but I serve the Chantry and the Maker, and I will do as I am commanded. Oh, you're not distracting? I mean, you are, but... well, you're not. I mean, you can talk to me anytime, if you want. Yes. Maybe we can talk another time.
You look well. That's wonderful. I was thrown up for a full week after my harrowing. It's delirium that does that, I think.
On it.
I hear Irving's very proud of you.
I'd avoid Leora if I were you. She's been rather testy lately. Who knows? I'm not going to ask her why she's irritable. Women hate those kind of questions.
Oh, it's you. I hear Irving's looking for you. Oh, it's you. I hear Irving's looking for you.
Hope you're having a good day.
Is there something you need? You must speak to Owain.
Many have already gone to Ostagar. Wynne, Aldred, and most of the senior mages. We've committed enough of our own to this war effort.
Your own? Since when have you felt such kinship with the mages, Gregor? Or are you afraid to let the mages out from under Chantry's supervision, where they can actually use their Maker-given powers?
How dare you suggest?
Gentlemen, please. Irving, someone is here to see you.
Ah, if it isn't our new sister in the circle. Come, child.
This is...
Yes, this is she.
Well, Irving, you're obviously busy. We will discuss this later.
Of course. Well, then, where was I? Oh, yes, this is Duncan of the Grey Wardens. You've heard about the war brewing to the south, I expect. Duncan is recruiting mages to join the King's army at Ostagar.
The Darkspawn threat grows in the south. We need all the help we can get. They are twisted monsters that dwell underground where the sun's light cannot touch them. They have formed into a horde in the Korcari Wilds and threaten to invade north into the valley. I fear if we don't drive them back, we may see another blight.
Duncan, you worry the poor girl with talk of blights and Darkspawn. This is a happy day for her.
We live in troubled times, my friend.
We should seize moments of levity, especially in troubled times. The harrowing is behind you. Your phylactery was sent to Denerim. You are officially a mage within the circle of magi. You may not remember, but blood was taken from you when you first came to us. This blood is preserved within a phylactery.
So they can be hunted if they turn apostate.
We have few choices. The gift of magic is looked upon with suspicion and fear. We must prove we are strong enough to handle our power responsibly. You have done this. I present you with your robes, your staff, and a ring bearing the Circle's insignia. Wear them proudly, for you have earned them. It goes without saying that you shall not discuss the harrowing with those who have not undergone the rite. Now then, take your time to rest, or study in the library. The day is yours. Impetuousness is ever the province of youth, I see.
I will return to my quarters.
Would you be so kind as to escort Duncan back to his room, child? The guest quarters are on the east side of this floor, close to the library. Now, if you'll both excuse me, I have matters to discuss with Gregor.
Thank you for walking with me. I'm glad for the company. Yes? What about? A horde has formed within the Korcari Wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde. Darkspawn do attack the surface in ragtag bands, but archdemons are capable of rallying the Darkspawn, turning them into an unstoppable force. A horde of Darkspawn, a veritable army. It is dire news indeed. I fear this is what we will have to face. We can't seem to eradicate them completely. Somehow they always come back. They usually move around in small groups, but there are always more of them, lurking underground, biding their time. Yes, perhaps it will be enough if we play our cards right. It is not my place to comment. Our duty is to battle Darkspawn wherever they appear. We are elves, humans, and dwarves united by this common purpose. Some of our most honored wardens have been elves. The hero, Garahel, the last warden to slay an archdemon, was one such. The Darkspawn threaten everyone. They do not distinguish between the races, and neither should we. Has being an elf in the Circle been difficult? It is hard to change perceptions. I've tried to reason with many, and failed. If one has always seen elves as less than human, it's hard to imagine them as something else. Do not let that discourage you. Let it temper you and make you stronger. Yes, let's.
The first enchanter said not to let anyone through this door, and I don't question my orders.
Yes, shouldn't we move along? Yes? What about? Our duty is to battle Darkspawn wherever they appear. We are elves, humans, and dwarves united by this common purpose. A horde has formed within the Korcari Wilds in the south. If they are not stopped, they will strike north into the valley. We Grey Wardens believe that an archdemon is leading the horde. Darkspawn do attack the surface in ragtag bands, but archdemons are capable of a horde of Darkspawn, a veritable army. It is dire news indeed. I fear this is what we will have. They usually move around in small groups, but there are always more of them, lurking underground, biding their time. Yes, perhaps it will be enough if we play our cards right. We can't seem to eradicate them completely. Somehow they always come back. Avoiding a problem does not make it disappear. The Darkspawn are a real threat we cannot ignore. But standing around talking solves nothing. Let us go. Thank you for escorting me.
I'm glad I caught up to you. Are you done talking with Irving? I need to talk to you. Do you remember what we discussed this morning? Shh! I just want to make sure we're not overheard. We should go somewhere else. I don't feel safe talking here. I've been troubled. I'll explain. Come with me, please. We should be safe here.
Not a priest. I am merely an initiate. I often attend to my duties in this chapel. Perhaps that is why I seem familiar.
A few months ago, I told you that I met a girl. This is Lily. I was afraid to tell anyone. Lily was becoming a chantry priest. She's taken vows. Lily's been given to the chantry. She's not allowed to have relations with men. If anyone finds out, we'll both be in trouble. Thank you. I knew you'd stand by me. Remember I said that I didn't think they wanted to give me my harrowing? I know why. They're going to make me tranquil. They'll take everything that I am from me. My dreams, hopes, fears, my love for Lily. All gone. They'll extinguish my humanity. I'll just be a husk, breathing and existing, but not truly living.
I saw the document on Gregor's table. It authorized the right on Jowan, and Irving had signed it.
There's a rumor about me. People think I'm a blood mage. They think that making me a circle mage will endanger everyone. Of course not. But it's not safe here for me anymore. I need to escape. I need to destroy my phylactery. Without it, they can't track me down. We need your help. Lily and I can't do this on our own.
Give us your word that you will help, and we will tell you what we intend. Thank you. We will never forget this. I can get us into the repository, but there is a problem. There are 2 locks on the phylactery chamber door. The First Enchanter and Knight Commander each hold 1 key. But it is just a door. There is power enough in this place to destroy all of Ferelden. What's a door to mages?
We have no choice. We cannot get our hands on both keys. I once saw a rod of fire melt through a lock. You could get one from the stockroom, but Owain doesn't release such things to apprentices.
We should stay here. One mage at the stockroom will attract less attention than a mage, an apprentice, and an initiate. Good luck. Our prayers go with you.
I hate waiting. It makes me nervous. Really? What? She was saying the chant of light in the chapel one night while I was walking past. I've heard that chant many times, but I never realized how beautiful the words were until then. I'll never forget that night. What? Oh, you mean you and me? Oh, this is awkward.
Yes, why didn't you, Jowen? You're always talking about her.
It never crossed my mind. You're like a sister to me. You don't like me as something more than a friend, do you? I see. Why bring it up now? Especially with, you know, things. And Lily, I love her, and, you know, I'm just going to drop this. Lily wouldn't jest about something like this.
I saw it plain as day. There was no mistake. And Gregor believes he does the Maker's work, keeping the mages in check.
Of course not. I never use blood magic. I've been sneaking around to meet Lily in secret. Maybe others have seen me and assumed I must be doing something forbidden. I suppose we are, but they think it's blood magic, and it isn't. Blood magic lets mages influence the minds of others. What if someone used it to control a king or a grand cleric? Magic must serve man, not rule over him. Remember? The Chantry fears this above all else. That's why the Templars, Gregor, will pay attention to a mindless rumor. No, and I don't care. Why? I don't really want to think about them. I came here a year or so before you did. I must have been 5 or 6 years old. Mother stopped talking to me after I showed signs of magical ability. She wouldn't even look at me. She'd mutter under her breath that I was a demon child and an abomination in the Maker's sight. She'd fight with my father, saying that she didn't want that thing, meaning me, in her house. Guess that's what drove him to leave me at the village chantry. I suppose it's just as well. It's the past. Of course not. I never used blood magic. I've been sneaking around to meet Lily in secret. Maybe others have seen me and assumed I must be doing something forbidden. I suppose we are, but they think it's blood magic, and it isn't. I've thought about it, but it will only make things worse. Lily will be punished. I can't do that to her. Maybe if it were just Irving, he'd spare me. But he has to keep the peace between the Circle and the Chantry. If he stirs up too much trouble, they might replace him. They could wipe out the entire Circle if they wanted. The Chantry abhors blood magic. That's why they're willing to pay attention to this stupid rumor. No, and I don't care. Why? I came here a year or so before you did. I must have been 5 or 6 years old. Mother stopped talking to me after I showed signs of magical ability. She wouldn't even look at me. She'd mutter under her breath that I was a demon child and an abomination in the Maker's sight. Mother could be cruel, especially if you got on her bad side, which was easy to do. She'd fight with my father, saying that she didn't want that thing, meaning me, in her house. Guess that's what drove him to leave me at the village chantry. I suppose it's just as well. It's the past. Of course not. I never used blood magic. I've been sneaking around to meet Lily in secret. Maybe others have seen me and assumed I must be doing something forbidden. I suppose we are, but they think it's blood magic, and it isn't. Maybe if it were just Irving, he'd spare me. But he has to keep the peace between the Circle and the Chantry. If he stirs up too much trouble, they might replace him. They could wipe out the entire Circle if they wanted. The Chantry abhors blood magic. That's why they're willing to pay attention to this stupid rumor. Are you ready to go?
Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker. Blessed... Oh, hello. I'm reciting the Maker's blessings. Would you like to join me? Yes, I love that prayer. Would you say it with me? Wonderful. I'll start over. Blessed art thou who exists in the sight of the Maker. Blessed are the penitents who seek his return. May the chant reach the Maker's ears and tell him of our contrition. So let it be. Thank you for praying with me. I recite the Maker's blessings every day. It brings me peace in troubled times. No, not really. It's just... I don't want to bore you with this. It gives me hope that one day the Maker will hear us. That maybe I'll be forgiven and my curse will be lifted. Magic? What else? Magic causes such misery. It's dangerous and vile and wicked. The Chantry must protect the world from us. Being born with something so terrible must be a punishment. I wish I could be rid of it. That doesn't take magic. If I could, I would dedicate my life to the Chantry, but they would never take me in. Perhaps this is just something I will have to suffer through. I should go. My mentor only allows a few minutes each day for religious contemplation.
Right.
Welcome to the Circle's stockroom of magical items. My name is Owain. How may I assist you? Rods of fire serve many purposes. Why do you wish to acquire this particular item? Some mages require them for their research. Others merely want to light fireplaces. I will set down that you require the rod to deal with the personal matter. Here is the form, Request for Rod of Fire. Have it signed and dated by a senior enchanter. I will release a rod to you once I have the signed form. It is procedure. I need a senior mage's authorization to release an item. Thank you.
Yes? That leads to the Circle's cavern storerooms. There are caves running through the rock that the Circle is built upon. But of course, you know this. No, I can't let anyone in there just now. There are just things in there that I would prefer to keep safe. Sensitive magical materials and substances, of course. I am in the midst of stock-taking, checking inventory, and I can't let anyone in there in case they mess things up. Yes. Because I am taking a break. I hate the musty smell of caves, and Look, I'll tell you the truth. Just keep it to yourself. There is an infestation of spiders in the caves. I don't know how they got in there, but it's probably my fault. I was promoted to senior enchanter less than a fortnight ago, and I don't want anyone to find out. They'll think I'm incompetent. I could use some, I'm sure. I've been too busy with my new duties. I haven't been able to deal with the spiders. If you cleared them out for me, I would owe you a favor. A big one. Wonderful. Here is the key. Oh, and be careful in there. I'd really like to keep the damage done to the Circle's property to a minimum.
This should be easy enough. As you wish. On it.
Is it just me, or do you actually think you have a chance? Excellent!
Desperation is an ugly perfume.